What is going on, everybody? Okay, let's turn all the platforms here live. Okay, here we are. Here we are. One second, about to. All right. Well, look, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you know that feeling when someone finally picks up but hangs up the phone before you even finish your first sentence? Yeah, we all been there. The purpose of this call and today's call in general is one, to help sales professional improve their craft of selling. Number two, help other business owners and solo operators take their business to a new level by implementing systems. Three, secure qualified appointments that lead to sales. And number four is to help real estate agents set more listing appointments. This way, get more listings and make more money. Selling is a universal concept, and its principles apply to every field. In fact, everything in life is sales. Whether you're selling a multi-million-dollar home, you're selling a software, or you're selling your partner on a new restaurant or movie that you want to check out, the same principles apply. It all comes down to making sure that you're not violating the sales principle. And the principle number one, and that people don't talk enough about it, is agreement. Always agree. Always agree, handle it, and move on. I believe that this information will help many professionals succeed in sales, just like it helped me by applying what I have learned over the past decade in sales. First, let's define who this information will impact and the potential magnitude of this when understood. Anyone in sales or dealing with people can benefit from this info to become a more effective salesperson and ascend new heights in their businesses. Prospecting for new business is a way of life. Look, today we're going to talk about what I consider to be the lifeblood of your success in sales, and is this prospecting. For those of you who don't know me, I have been in sales for over a decade. I started my own business and I knocked on doors. I thrived in the auto industry and I made thousands of sales calls. I've had doors slammed in my face. I've been hung up on more times than I can even count. And I heard every excuse you can possibly imagine. And I will share everything that I learned over the past decade in this call. Look, prospecting is not optional. It is the foundation of everything for a business owner. If you have a product and you need to get clients, it's called prospecting. Prospecting for new business. In the real estate business, the product is you and the service that you offer to your clients. Here's the key. You need to treat this like a business, your business, because casual actions bring casual results. What we want are intentional results. And we get those by understanding that prospecting is key and it's not optional. When sales are treated like a business with structure and discipline, you will reach the kind of success you deserve. You know, people often ask me what it is like to be a real estate agent and to be in sales, and here's my answer. Be ready to prospect as if your life depends on it, because it absolutely does. Look, selling real estate or selling in general is not what you have seen on TV, okay? It is not the selling sunset. This is not a show, although you can make it fun. Remember, no prospecting equals no pipeline. No pipeline equals no income. In real estate, everything you do today will shape your results for 3, 6, or even 12 months from now. We just had a prospect that closed 2 years after they first inquired. If you don't prospect today, you're essentially deciding that you're okay with having no paycheck tomorrow. Look, no prospecting equals no pipeline. No pipeline equals no income. It is that simple. Let's discuss various methods of prospecting and why, in my opinion, the phone call remains one of the most effective. Look, there are many ways you can prospect. You can do social media, you can email, you can door knock, you can do events, you can run ads, YouTube, and more. Nowadays, you can run AI ads. This is something that we do for our company as well. So if you have any questions on that, reach out to me. But after you meet someone, let's say at an event, you still have to call them. The phone is the most efficient and cheapest way to reach out. Think about it. If I went into a Chambers of Commerce event, I can spend there 20 minutes, just target the people that I need, take their business cards, and be out of there. Next day, I'll follow up with them. It is the number of calls you can make versus physically visiting homes or businesses. It's unmatched. Here's why I like calling. You get immediate feedback. When you send an email, you wait. When you post on social media, you wait. But when you call, you're talking to someone right now. You can answer questions, you can overcome objections, and you can tailor your message in real time. Most importantly, you save time by asking the right questions and quickly finding out if the prospect is qualified, if you should spend time on this at all. You want to be on and off the phone in 15 or less seconds. Real-time conversations mean real-time results. You can overcome those objections live, and you can move the prospect in the sales process. That leads to setting appointments. And let's face it, you can't really do that over text or email. And that's why you need to become proficient at making calls. You know, a mentor of mine once told me that he used to say, Vladimir, once you master the telephone, he calls it a telephone, you'll never need a job in your life. And he was so right. When making the calls, you need a script. First of all, why are scripts important? Look, if you knew exactly what to say on a call and how to handle objections, wouldn't you be more confident making the call? Of course you would. And that's the point of a script. It gives your call structure, and it helps guide the person on the other end towards a decision that works for both of you. When you're live on a phone, emotions are high. Objections will come, and without a script, it's easy to lose focus and lose the prospect. A script minimizes that risk. It doesn't matter which script you use. What matters is that it's proven and effective. I mean, don't use something random from your cousin or a friend. Use a script provided by your company or a respected coach. Stick with one script, internalize it, chant it, and make it part of you. Because in the end, it's not the script that works, it's you. Print your script, not on your phone, not on your screen, print it. Hold it in your hand while making calls. Here, I have mine printed and laminated. Trust me, it works. Before making a call, and this should be the number one step in making any calls and any sales whatsoever, is your attitude. This is the first key to a successful call. And attitude refers to your mental disposition and how you feel about the call. Prospects can feel your attitude through the phone. And you can easily ruin a call that could have been an appointment. I don't know about you, but I don't want to gamble with my paycheck. And consider the value of real estate today or any other product that you're selling. I believe that that's a huge amount and I don't want to gamble with it. In order to have a great attitude, avoid negative influences and before making the calls. And if you're making them in the morning, avoid them before morning. Stay off social media, avoid the news, and don't compare yourself to others. I always say, if it's important enough, it's going to get to me. I don't need to watch the news. Start your day with gratitude. Write down the things you're grateful for. Use a notebook and write down the things that you're grateful for. Use affirmations. Here's a couple of my affirmations, okay? And we do this with the team. We've been doing it for years now. Today is a great day. Today I have energy. Today I'll make it happen. I'm ready to make today the best day of my life. I see myself achieving my goals. And pound your chest. You can feel energy coming up. I'm a goal achiever. I believe in me. Every day and every way I'm getting better and better. Look, this is not just words. Isn't that true that every day you're trying to get better and better? Isn't it true that today you want to be a great salesperson? Say it. I love to prospect. The phone makes me money. I enjoy making the next call. Next, eat a healthy breakfast. Avoid sugars and move your body. Look, you don't need a gym, but just do 20 jumping jacks. Woo, break a sweat. And your attitude will improve immediately. That's how you stay in the right state of mind. Have a schedule. The biggest problem when you're self-employed is discipline. And maybe you're not self-employed, but you're in sales. But for people that are self-employed, is that schedule. You're your own boss. And look, that's why we chose this path, to be our own boss. But without a schedule, you can't expect consistent deals or steady paychecks. Discipline is what it takes to get on the phone every morning. The sooner you realize that your schedule is the most important part of your success, the better. Start and finish at the same time every day. Here's a proven process that I know it works because we've done it for years. Script role play with your partner in the morning, then start making the calls right away. And remember, if it's not on your calendar, it's not going to happen. Schedule your days off, your vacation, long weekends, plan your year. Decide how many days you work, how many hours per day, and how many of those hours will be prospecting. I know it sounds like a lot of planning, but if you don't, you end up in a place you don't want to be. Here's a morning flow. 1, exercise. Number 2, role play your scripts for 20 to 30 minutes with your role play partner. Give each other real feedback. No sugarcoating. Nowadays, you can do that with an AI role play partner. Do that. Immediately after that, get on a phone. This creates a habit, and you'll naturally flow from role play into calling. Always end your role play play on a positive note, but be tough. Push each other with objections and make it a habit. Bring up objections that you couldn't handle the day before with your partner and say, hey, I came across this, I stumbled, and I got hung up on. And just practice it. You need a vision board. And let's talk about why you need a vision board or a board for your cold call. Look, this is not just a New Year's resolution gimmick. A vision board is a powerful tool to stay motivated, focused, and consistent, especially when facing rejection. It keeps you centered on your why. Maybe it's your financial freedom. Perhaps it's buying your dream home. Perhaps it's giving your family a sense of security. Whatever your reason is, seeing it daily, it all makes it more real. Rejections will come, Deals will fall through. And that's when you need a vision board. Every call becomes one step closer to your dream. Write your goals daily. For example, I closed 10 deals this month. I earned $50,000 in commission. Seeing it visually makes it real and achievable. Create your board, write your goals, and keep them visible. When you visit your goals daily, you'll stay motivated, even when you don't feel like it. Procrastination and attitude. Procrastination is the dream killer. That voice that says, I'll do it later, or I'm not in the mood. Look, later becomes never. Cold calling is uncomfortable and it's unpredictable, and that's why people avoid it. But discomfort does lead to growth. Let's face it, why do we procrastinate? It's because the fear of rejection. Nobody loves to hear a no, but every no gets you closer to a yes. And let's put it this way, everything in this life, it's rejection. Cold calling is just a numbers game. Rejection is part of the process. Well, the other reason is perfectionism. We wait for the perfect time, but it never comes. The best way to beat procrastination is action. Make the first call. Momentum will take care of the rest. Your attitude sets the tone. Look, if you call with fear, others can sense it. If you call with confidence, they feel that too. Enthusiasm is contagious. Even if you hear a no, you've still practiced, you still learn, and you still grow. For a successful call, here's what we need. We need a printed script. Okay, print it, hold it in your hand, and move your finger down to the questions so you never lose your place. And we're going to do some live calls here in a minute, so you will see how we use this. But this keeps you in control. Okay, use a Bluetooth headset. Okay, have Bluetooth headsets to keep your hands free, because energy and expression come through body language. That's why you need your hands free. A stand-up desk is a game changer. Your energy and voice improve when standing. Keep your prospecting space clean. No clutter, no distraction, just a computer, your script, and a notebook to take notes and write down your calls, how many you got. Track your calls, use a mirror while calling or a camera. Smile and dial, and you'll catch negative expressions and shift back into positivity. These details matter so much. Look, if you have any questions about cold calling, scripts, where to get the leads, what type of leads do I need, how much they cost, and all those questions, you can always reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to talk with you about that. But right now, make a decision that you will be successful in your calling, okay? And look, make that first call. You're going to be okay. Let's make some together. How about that? Excellent. So we're going to go to here. Let me just, we're going to connect in here. Okay, we should be ready here in a second. Let's go from that to that. Today is the 18th. Let's go 16. Okay. Search. Let's select a list. We're going to make some live calls here in a second. All right, so we have our list here. We're almost ready. Okay, here we go. Here we go, here we go. So remember, you want to have a script and you want to hold it in your hand, and this is the way you do it. And don't overthink this stuff. Just plug in your dialer, whatever you use to make calls. Hi, Brett, this is Vladimir. I'm calling about your home that came off the market. And I was wondering, when do you plan on interviewing? Oops, we got hang up. That is a good problem. That is a good problem. So someone will say, well, this is the exact reason why I don't want to make the calls, and that's fine. Remember, you have a couple seconds with this prospect, and you could get your point across on why you're calling. Always call with introduce yourself and tell them why you're calling. There's a reason why I do it that way. It's because it works. Remember one thing though, prospecting is, you can make it fun, but generally it's really boring. I don't know if you caught this, but one of the laws of sales that gets violated more often by salespeople is disagreeing with the prospect or start arguing. Remember, number one rule in sales is always agree. Hello? Hello, this is Vladimir. I'm calling about your home that just came off the market. And I was wondering, when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling a home? I was calling for the home on 3815 for the Garfields. Is that you? No, that's interesting. Well, I'm calling for the home for sale. What's the best number to reach him at? Submitted to you. Interesting. Are you the realtor? Are you the realtor? Are you the realtor that listed their property? Interesting. Okay. All right. Thank you. So in this case, we got a hold of, I think, the old agent. We don't have the correct decision maker. We couldn't get a phone number out of them. And we're just going to move on. Hello, this is Vladimir. I'm calling about your home that came off the market. And I was wondering, when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home? Hello? We got hang up on. We got hang up on. That's okay. We're going to call next. All right, all right, all right. Remember I was saying, it is boring. Okay, for the people that just joined here, we're making live calls. This is live cold calls. And I'm going to show you today how to use a script. Trust me, I heard it all. That scripts don't work, that I sound too scripted, that they're going to know I use a script. I'm afraid to use a script. I can't memorize a script. I want to sound more personal. I want to connect with them. I heard it all from hundreds of agents and salespeople that wanted to make it their own. There's nothing wrong with that. I know this way works. Not a lot of answers, but this is normal. This is totally normal. Remember, we're doing some cold calling, okay? We're not, these are leads. Otherwise, if you called somebody, they were like already signing up for whatever you're selling, I'll not be calling leads. I'll be calling a contract. Put a comment in. Are you using a script when you're making your calls? Do you make calls in your business? Or do you just have a funnel and waiting for people to just log in and book a call? Come on. Hello? 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 That was weird. And remember, you don't have to be better than the person in your company, okay? Or you don't have to be better than, if you work for somebody, than your boss. All you have to do is be better than the prospect that you're calling on. Hello, hello. Hello. Okay, let's upload another list here. Okay. We're getting a new list in place. Just hold on there. All right. All right, we should be ready here. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go. Let's go. There we go. Believe me, I know. But this is not fun, okay? This is not why we're doing it. We're doing it because it works. This is so important. Back to what I was just saying a couple of minutes ago. When prospecting, you have to have something to keep your hands busy. You can have a pen to take it apart. You can have a tennis ball or something, you know. Why is it important? Because you have to keep your hands busy. Otherwise, you'll find yourself browsing, looking at stuff that doesn't make any difference in your prospecting. All right, that'll be all for today. Thank you all for coming here, and I hope that you have the courage now to pick up the phone and make that first call. Look, all that matters is that you make the call. Stop procrastinating. What is the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no? Oh, no. You know what I say when they say no? I say go. Have a great day and generate some business. Oh, my man is here. My man Mo, what's going on, brother? Gonna end it.